So this is kind of what we want to get at when we try to do these dining destinations. So like when we covered Newport, or we covered some of the other areas, the Jewelry District area over here in Providence. In the coming weeks, I've had requests to cover other areas in the city, and we'll talk about those as well to bring them in. Warwick is one of them, so I'm going to give that shout out to Warwick, and I know a lot of people have asked me to cover restaurants in Warwick, and we will. But these next two chefs are the same thing. They've got destinations that have either changed hands, expanded, done new things. So that being said, I want to bring in Chef Jeff that is with Finn's Harborside. So this is a gorgeous destination right out there in the water. Oh, whoa. Holy cow.
How are you doing today?
Good, Chef. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Look at this. Oh, one of my favorite Chardonnays in the world. Seriously, I'm a massive J. Laura fan.
Never go wrong.
For you. That is awesome. All right, so yeah, we're gonna have to get started with the food again because I'm already feeling like I'm gonna pass out with the aromas over here. So, Chef, we're gonna talk about your history for sure because you got a unique history in coming into Finn's, and we're gonna highlight that for sure because I want to know some of your motivations and your inspirations here. But tell us what you brought first because today
I brought a linguine and white clam sauce. And I brought a slow smoked baby back ribs.
So this is the aroma I think that's driving everyone's nuts. This is smoked, right?
Yes. Yep.
Wow. All right. So linguine and clams. We got the points in there going on.
Yep.
And the ribs. This is like a massive piece of rib here. I mean, look at the size of this thing.
Yeah.
Is this a normal portion?
It's we use a 2 1/4 pound portion on the baby back ribs. You can get them smaller. I like when I have a rib. I like the meat. You know, you want like a good size rib. And the baby backs, there's nothing like a baby back rib.
So this is where I want to get into. We're going to kind of segue into his experience and his inspiration because everyone that's commented about Finn's is like, oh, I go there and I sit outside and I'm eating seafood constantly and it's fantastic. I bet you didn't expect to see this, did you? So this is what we got to talk about there. So let's talk about that. So you have a very unique background. This was not your original calling to go into the restaurant, right?
No, it wasn't. I actually started when I was 16 doing automotive. Found myself at the age of 20 running service departments. By the time I was 27, 28, I despised my going to work every day. I just wanted to get out. I ended up leaving and I ended up working in a kitchen and ended up falling in love, and here I am 5 years later.
So 5 years later, so in 5 years, you went from the career you're at to becoming the executive chef at a fantastic restaurant in the state of Rhode Island. So that begs the question, for these type of things, of course you're going to come up with things that are seafood related because of your location.
Because of location,
yeah. I mean, the location just begs for that. But where's the rest of your inspiration or your creativity from these things coming from? Is it things that you've now studied or things you just have personal preferences for?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, preferences, the thing with the Harborside, they are always just a seafood restaurant. And I wanted to kind of expand on that a little bit because you go out with a group of people and 70% of those people are gonna like seafood,
right?
And then the other 30%, there's like you have a chicken sandwich
or
a burger.
What's for me on the menu?
Yeah,
right?
you have a chicken or a burger on the menu. So that's where I started bringing in some of the things that I enjoy doing outside of seafood. I love seafood, but I wanted a diverse menu.
And that's a very unique thing because a lot of times it's like this is what we're specializing in is take it or leave it and go. Now, kind of give us. Touch upon, because you just changed the menu recently, right?
Yes, yeah.
All right, so while I pour my favorite wine over here, you're going to tell us, give us a little more of what's on the menu now if guests were to come out right now. Because this is the off-season, technically.
Yeah, so we just switched to our fall menu. You can come in, we do, the fall and the spring we do a lot with barbecue because we can keep up with it. We're not in the tourist season, we call it. So I have anything from, we have the smoked ribs, we have pulled pork, we have applewood smoked wings.
So that smoker's going into good use.
Yeah, so we do a lot with the, with the barbecue end of it. And then, we brought in some stuff that they never had before. We have Rubens, we have a smoked Cuban sandwich that we have on the menu. So there's a lot of new items we brought in on top of our, our dishes that everybody comes in for, your lobster rolls, green clam sauce, lobster mac and cheese. So
now the flip side of that question is are some of those things, the lobster mac and cheese, the lobsters, are those things that are still available year round, or do you kind of limit them to the seasonality of
we back off on some stuff, but the lobster mac and cheese, your pasta dishes, they're all going to be there. You're going to see some of like your fresh fish, like swordfish we have all summer, salmon. We back off on that stuff a little bit and do more specials at this time of year.
So kind of things that will run more on the weekends because of the quantity of the supply of it's limited.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cheers first of all. Thank you for coming in, and you brought a great wine, so he's in good shape. So. So, thank you. So this was another winery that I actually reached out to see if I could talk to today because I'm just a big J. Lore fan. So, chef, kind of give us, and this is, we talked about this on the phone, and I'm going to talk about each of the chefs, kind of give us this visual of Finn's Harborside because you've made some changes recently to the restaurant that can now accommodate different things. And I do want to put out there that I know you're seasonal, but not really that seasonal because when you guys close down in January, it's only for 60 days, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a winter break.
Yeah.
You know?
We close in January and February, and for most of people that don't know, we're literally like on a pier, so there's a lot of building movements that we have to take care of a lot of the stuff during that time.
To kind of prep again for the season.
Prep again for the season. So as far as the restaurant goes, we made a couple of changes. The upstairs, which is an a la carte restaurant before, we now changed to a banquet facility. We hold up to 125 people. We do anything from bridal showers, bachelor parties, to weddings.
There you go. Question answered, Julie. I had a question earlier on social media. Do they do weddings? Because I was mentioning that you have a large space. There you go. So 125 people is not a small number to do for an event. That's an awesome size space.
Yeah.
Now, is that just used for events, or do you use that on dining on the weekends and such as well?
No, we just use it for events.
Okay.
And we did this, we started a year and a half ago, and it's really taken off, and it's to the point now where pretty much every weekend the room is booked, which is awesome.
Really?
Yeah, so it's come a long way.
So I had, and I know that there was another question I had about the space that was up there. So events are only upstairs, not downstairs, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so your events...
We can hold events outside too under the tent, but we do most of the events upstairs.
Most of the events are upstairs, okay. Parking-wise, big thing down there, and I've never had a problem, but parking-wise, you guys, for that size of venue, when you're right on the water,
Yeah.
you got parking for the boats and you got parking for the cars.
Exactly, yeah. We actually, in that area between Blue and Nautica, we have one of the biggest parking lots. That's, we have the biggest parking area down on
Right
the
along
Water
the water,
Street
right?
side, yeah.
So you mentioned the upstairs and the changes to that. Talk about the downstairs a little bit and how the restaurant's set up down there.
Well, so you walk into the main building. You're gonna walk into your bar on the right. We have an open deck with garage doors that we put up during the summertime. So you have, if you want to, sit in the AC, you sit on the inside. If you want to go out and basically be on the water, you're right there.
So how big is the seating capacity outside of the water?
The seating, we have 168 on the inside, and then we have another 80 seats outside.
So 168 for regular dining and then 80.
Yep.
You got a busy kitchen.
Yes, very busy.
It's a really busy kitchen. So this goes back to the tourism question that I brought up earlier, the tourism thought, I should say, that's out there, is that the 60 days that they close, you mentioned, it's kind of a regrouping. They regroup the restaurant, kind of make changes or cosmetic things that need to happen because where you sit on the water. But it's not like a lot of places where you go that are in this tourism sector that are closed for 4 or 5 months in the winter. So I have friends that were telling me that this past Easter, that they were out there and the place was packed. That you had this massive Easter event and the Easter Bunny was there, and they hit me up on social media saying, "Oh, we love Finn's. We were out there for Easter last year." So and they're from New York, so they were here visiting people and came out and went to your place for Easter. So when you think about it, that time frame is not a really big gap that's out there between when you close and renovate and come back open.
And as far as closing too, we still do hold events during the January, February time.
Really?
We just don't run a downstairs business.
Ah, okay. So now, up until January, are the hours different? Do they change? What do you guys have going on?
We cut back on our kitchen hours a little bit. We're open till Sunday through Thursday. We're open till 8 p.m. in the kitchen. We're open till 9 on Friday and Saturday. This time of year, you don't have the crowd down in that area.
For the volume to stay that large. So if somebody's coming in now, and we're just talking about the volume, it's a lot easier for them to get in this time of year.
Oh yeah.
But still, the scenery is just as beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, I was down there 2 weeks ago, granted the weather's been really warm. There were still boats in the water and people going in and out.
Yeah. To be honest, I think this time of year, it's probably some of the boats clear out. It's not so crowded. I think it's a better view now than it is during the summer.
Yeah, the view is spectacular from the step. It's that whole area along, the cove, am I saying it right? The cove down is absolutely spectacular to view down there. So, Chef, and going back to some of the questions that I was asking Chef John before us, is that your experience and the creativity you've had to come after 4 or 5 years of being in the kitchen and having this, is there certain things that you find that you're more passionate about cooking or things that you really want people to experience? So forget the fact of a tourist. If there's someone in Rhode Island that's coming down East Greenwich in the next month to come try the restaurant, what are some of the things? Your specials, or what are the things you really want to encourage people to try?
Yeah, some of the specials. I mean, you can go get a linguine clam sauce. Everybody has their own twist on it. You can go get that anywhere. My ribs are one of the things that I'm very proud of. everybody comes in, they love them. Our stuffies that we have,
Oh,
actually
yeah,
got
that's right, yeah.
Seattle Times wrote us up last year with best in the United States for stuffies.
Right.
So those are some of the things. I mean, there's, as far as like passion wise, I like a variety, but like my heart like goes to this.
Your
like,
heart goes to this side of things, yeah.
Yeah,
And I think that's fantastic because
Yeah.
it goes back to the thing of variety of those people that
Yeah.
are, you know, even the people that have eaten your seafood all year long or people that live down there, I have friends that go to your restaurant almost every weekend. They love the fact that you're coming out with things like this and being able to do it.
Yes. Yep.
So, we talked about this, we talked about your food, the style of the restaurant, bar program, beverage program. One of the things that my friends love to go out there for is sitting outside and drinking cocktails. I'm looking at always getting the wine, but they love to sit outside and drink the cocktails. How important, I mean, your location, it's a kind of a silly question from a location standpoint, you have cocktails flying out the door, you know,
Yes.
6 months out of the year.
Yeah.
Right? They're going and you have specialty drinks and everything.
Yeah.
Do you try to, with your beverage program and the people that you have on the team, to not only pair up your wines, but those specialty cocktails and those things that come out?
We do. It's very, because it's such a touristy spot. I see like people coming from all over.
Mm.
I notice that like everybody that comes from a different area has a certain
That's true.
taste and the way they like things differently. But we do try to pair stuff. We all I heard John talking earlier about how he had a prefix menu
Yep.
that we actually ran for a restaurant week. We're actually also doing that where you can get a bottle of wine on 2 entrees for $34.95. You know, so we do pair.
This is the time to go.
Yeah,
This is the
definitely.
time to get out to East Greenwich and try it.
Yeah.
So I think we covered a good amount of stuff. We talked about the style of food, your beverage program, the style of the restaurant. Is there any other news, any other big things coming up that we should know about that you guys are participating in and going on before January 1st hits?
I mean, we don't really have anything coming up. We are booking holiday parties
Okay, yeah.
for the season, and we also are taking reservations for Thanksgiving. If most people
So you're open for Thanksgiving?
we do Thanksgiving.
Well, that's news right there in itself because that's a hard thing to find. So you're open for Thanksgiving Day.
Yep.
And what time do you open?
So we're open. We're doing 3 seatings, 12, 2, and 4,
Okay.
both up and downstairs. Adults are going to be $29.95.
Okay.
On the menu we have turkey, prime rib, big scrod, and we are
Gosh.
going to do a pasta dish of some sort. I mean, obviously have your gravies, your stuffings, and veggies.
Fantastic. All right, so now we got a good announcement. He's over Thanksgiving. We'll make
Yep.
sure we put that up there for you. Well, Chef, thank you very much for coming in today. It was fantastic to have you. Don't worry, I'll finish up the wine afterwards. Thank you, Jeff. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll slide this in.